My life has dramatically improved ever since using and integrating this spiritual technology of being able to communicate and seek guidance from my higher self. I always know what to do now. Meanwhile, in the past, I was so indecisive. And as a result of this indecisiveness, I moved really slowly. Today, I'm very decisive. Today, I am really disciplined. And the reason I'm really disciplined today is because I believe lack of discipline, is the byproduct of having your mind's voice being louder and drowning out your higher self's guidance and your higher self's voice. So ultimately, when you learn how to communicate with your higher self, you're tapping into unstoppable, unshakable self-discipline. So what I intend to do in today's short video is share with you a real actionable and practical way of opening your channel and getting clear guidance from your higher self so that you too can be decisive with your life and so that you too can tap into limitless self-discipline and just take massive action towards the things that light your soul on fire. Okay, so actionable step number 1 is to create stillness. All right, so there's 2 steps here. Step number 1 is to create stillness. Now, the reason our mind is oftentimes louder than the voice of our higher self is because there's so much noise coming from our mind. There's so much noise coming from the program and from the past. Just imagine for a moment you're in a swimming pool, right? And you're splashing, you're making so many waves with your arms. Because there's so many waves and there's so much motion going on, you are not going to be able to feel and pick up on each individual wave that hits you. It's just going to be like so much is going on. Now, let's, for a moment, imagine you create stillness in the pool. You stop moving your arms and you're the only person in the pool. And the water is completely silent. Now, if a leaf falls into that pool and creates a wave and it hits you, you're going to notice it now. And that is why it's so important to create stillness in your mind. So once you've created that stillness, and the way that I do it is I simply breathe, oftentimes with my eyes closed, and I affirm the words, letting go. Every time I exhale, I affirm the words, letting go of the breath, letting go of the mind's thoughts, letting go of my past, letting go of any mental and emotional and physical tension. And I'll do that for 60 seconds to 5 minutes. And once I've created this stillness, the second step is what I do is I imagine my human self communicating with my higher self, and my higher self is above me somewhere. And what I like to do is verbalize that conversation. Hey, what should I do about this career opportunity? What should I do about this relationship? And I'll verbalize the question and I'll immediately get the guidance, and I'll verbalize the guidance that's coming from my higher self. So you can either verbalize it if that aligns with the way that you learn best. You can either write it, and you can write the question that you are seeking guidance from, and then you can write the answer that is being channeled through you from your higher self, or you can just kind of feel it, right? So it's either you verbalize it, you write it, or you just feel it. Now, the last thing that I want to touch up on, okay, so now that we are learning how to communicate with our higher self, we create stillness and we simply just ask questions to our higher self. What I want to talk about, and this is probably the most important piece of this video, is 3 ways to identify if your guidance or if your thoughts are coming from your mind or if they are coming from your higher self. So number 1, we know the thoughts and the guidance is coming from our higher self when it is clear and straightforward. Okay? The mind often has many reasons for why it should do something or why we should do something. It's really rational in that way. Your higher self oftentimes has no reasons. It's incredibly irrational. And it's clear and it's straightforward, and the higher self says, do this. Why? Because you fucking need to do it. That's why. So we know it's coming from your higher self when it's clear and straightforward. We know it's coming from our higher self when it makes the body feel a bit uncomfortable, because your body is used to getting guidance from your mind. The mind is usually telling what the body to do. So when it starts to get guidance from your higher self, and once the higher self tells our body what to do, it's just kind of uncomfortable. We're not used to it. Number 3, even though it makes the body uncomfortable, there's this weird paradox that it's also like really exciting, and it brings a lot of hope into our life. So that's it for this video. This is how you communicate with your higher self. This is how you tap into unlimited, I should say, self-discipline. Because when your higher self's voice is louder than your mind, it is so easy to be disciplined. Because finally, for the first time ever, like, that is what you focus most of your attention and energy on. It only has to be 51% of your attention and your energy needs to be devoted to your higher self. It doesn't have to be 100%. It just has to be more than your mind's programming, more than your past, more than your trauma. And when you're able to do this, life becomes a freaking fairy tale. And is it going to be super simple in the beginning? Probably not. You have to cultivate this strength. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, comment down below the words "I am worthy of success" to claim your success. Also, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and please share this with a friend or 10 of your friends. My name is Judy Orsi. Unconditional love sent your way. Talk to you all very soon.